I'm Lucy and I'm a student in the Allen School. I was inspired to make this cake because I thought it was a good reflection of what this entire quarter, or actually this entire year, has felt like.
So we're gonna get started by baking the cake. It's a batter that I adapted from a cupcake recipe, and I'm starting out with some melted butter, and I added some sugar into that. I realized we didn't have eggs, so I had to make a flax egg, and I added in some almond milk, almond extract, and vanilla extract. Now I'm adding in the dry ingredients and mixing that all up until the batter is smooth. Now I'm putting that into a 9 by 9 inch square pan to bake. And it really bothers me when people leave a bunch of leftover batter on their mixing bowl, so I tried to scrape mine as cleanly as possible. Now that the cake is in the oven, I'm going to put some butter and confectioner sugar into the bowl of a stand mixer so that I can make buttercream. I'm separating out the buttercream into the different colors that I'll need for this project. And now it's time for the fun part, which is decorating. I'm starting out by putting a very thin layer of buttercream onto the cake so that I can etch in the design that I want. After chilling the cake in the fridge, I'm going to add in the background color, which is a light yellow. Then I'm adding in the floor color and adding in the smoke clouds at the top. I'm adding in a little bit of texture here because I think that it really adds to the effect of the clouds at the top. Now I'm filling in the door and the frame and adding in some orange flames using the buttercream in a piping bag. After using the piping bag, it's important to smooth out the colors so that you don't get any ridges in your frosting. After that, I'm going to add in the table and we've transitioned to the second day of decorating. I'm using black buttercream and a very small round tip to get some of the details and the outlines in. Now I'm adding in the mug, and this one was pretty tricky because it was so small. Once again, I'm using a piping bag to get in some of the details on the flames. I'm outlining the mug by using a toothpick and manually adding in the frosting. After smoothing out the flames for a little bit, it's time to start the dog. I'm using a toothpick to draw in the shape of the dog at first so that I have a general guideline of what it's supposed to look like. Then I used a spatula to add in some buttercream, but then realized it would just be a little bit easier if I used a piping bag to get more precise details. After the cake was chilled, I used a spatula to smooth out a little bit more of the buttercream on the flames and on the dog. Now I'm using the black buttercream that I mentioned before to add in a couple more details. Now I'm moving on to the dog and I'm adding on the outline for the dog as well as some parts of the chair. I'm adding in some more facial features like the nose and also fixing up some of the details, adding in the eyes and also the top hat. We're getting really close, so the last thing that I need to do is to outline the top hat and to add in some pupils on the eyes, and that's basically it. At the very end, I always like to use a hot spatula on a chilled cake to make sure that the sides are all really smooth. And that's it. Here's the This Is Fine dog on a cake.